Hello and welcome back to Monkey Gardening. I'm still a monkey, this is still my garden. Nice to have you back here again. The last time I was out here was end of September. Shortly after that the season changed, it got really wet out here, and my garden doesn't drain at all, so I've not really been out here at all. I also had to do a load of recording for work, and there wasn't much of interest to show you out here. So this is the first time I've been back out here this year. So what I thought I'd do is give you a little tour around the garden, see what state everything's in, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about what my plans are for this year. So here we are, back in the garden. Today is the 27th of February, so in a month's time it'll be a year since I started this madness. As I said before, it's been completely waterlogged out here. Also unusually for here, we had quite a lot of frost. It's been very cold. We even had some snow, but sadly not enough to build a snowman. So some of the plants have suffered quite a bit because last winter was pretty mild. So if we start over here, this was what was my potato bed. Not a bad yield, but I realised recently that I actually left one run of potatoes in the ground. So the first job is going to be, one of the first jobs is going to get rid of that, dig them up. What else? My cloche. I think in here, yeah, there's some rosemary which I bought from the garden centre, which you saw me visit in the Mischief Mobile, and that was some hops which I got off a neighbour friend of mine, Pamela. Unfortunately the hops haven't survived the winter. I thought they were hardy, but maybe it just got too cold out here. What else? Strawberries here, they're still happy, they're hardy as anything. My rosemary's put on quite a lot of growth. Strawberries here, I'd probably do get some new strawberry plants this year. They do get exhausted after a couple of years, they don't produce as much fruit. Now I'm quite interested to see what's going on under here. So at the very end of the season, I think it must have been end of August, beginning of September, I sowed some onion seeds in here. So let's have a little look, see if anything's happened. Looks like nothing's happened. Except a squirrel's been in here hiding its peanuts. Yeah, I must confess, there was one point in late lockdown when I started feeding the squirrels just for some company. That's how bad things got. No, I don't think that's onion. I think that's just some kind of grass coming through. So yeah, it looks like the onions have failed. What else? So in this bed, I had lettuce and rocket. Looks like some of the rockets survived. Not quite sure whether that's actually worth bothering with. I'll leave it there for now. So here's my raspberry and blackberry plants. You can see that they put on some new shoots. There's quite a lot of fresh shoots coming through. I'm pretty sure that I'm not supposed to prune this one. I can see lots of new buds coming through, so we'll just see how that goes. One of my fondest memories of last summer was sitting, before I built this bed, sitting in a chair here one evening with a beer, and these two, the raspberry and blackberry were in full flower, and there was just loads of bees buzzing around. It was just, yeah, it was a really nice evening. So my sort of plan for this year is I'm not going to grow anywhere near as much veg. I think last year I had delusions of grandeur that I was somehow going to be self-sufficient out here, but I've since realised I live in the northwest in Salford. I live in my garden is north facing. The garden itself is overhung by lots of trees. There's just not enough light in this garden, and the growing season's too short. Maybe if I covered everything in polytunnels and got greenhouses and that kind of thing, I could do more veg. I'll still do a bit of veg, but I think this year I'm going to go with the flow a little bit more. What actually works in this garden. So things that actually work in this garden are herbs and lettuce and spinach. I'll continue with the raspberry and blackberry. But the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grow a lot more flowers. So the things that really gave me pleasure last year was all the bees and insects visiting the garden. I'd never grown flowers before last year, but I had some, this is the remains of it, I had some cosmos flowers, which I got from my neighbour Pamela, and some nasturtiums which I planted from seed. And I really enjoyed having those in the garden. So I'm going to grow a lot more flowers and a lot more herbs. Those two things seem to flourish in the garden. I'll still grow a few veg, but I'm not going to grow as much. Try and grow things that actually work in this garden. What else? Okay, so yeah, this was my lemongrass. I think I've finally managed to kill it. It was out here last winter as well, but last winter wasn't as cold as this winter. So I think the frost has actually killed it, unless there's something living in the root system. We'll leave it there, give it a chance, see what happens. That's a bit of a shame. I should have brought it inside. What we've got going on here, I think that's some very sad looking thyme. That's some more very sad looking thyme. That's some kale, which I think got hit by caterpillars. What else? That's some more hops that died. That's some very sad looking mint. Not quite sure what that was. I think that's just weeds growing in there now. Well, as you can see, everything's just exactly as I left it when I finished sometime last September. I've literally not been out here at all. You can see a few beer cans on the floor. That's when I had one of the few visitors in the short period where we were allowed to have visitors in our garden. My friend Dan came round. We sat in the garden. It started raining and we drank beer. My riddle that my sister bought me for my birthday last year. I mean, the other thing that happened last year was it was all a bit mend and make do. Obviously the shops were shut. Everybody was either gardening or baking, so you couldn't get hold of any compost. I ended up having to plant stuff in not really ideal locations for things. The compost that I eventually got was really good, but it was really heavy. It was full of manure, and I think a lot of the plants didn't like that very much. So once I've cleared everything out, I'm going to top up the beds with some light, normal potting compost from B&Q. So I think in the long run that compost is going to be great. It's going to have fed the soil, but it was very heavy. So what else do I have here? I had I grew some sweet corn. It never really got well. It produced the fruit, but the fruit never ripened. The growing season just is too short here. So these are the this is the remains of the runner beans. I'm not going to grow any runner beans this year, or any beans at all. I just don't like them enough to grow them. They're too much hassle. This is my cabbages, which have survived the winter. But they're looking rather sad for themselves. Actually, that one's not looking too bad. Maybe I should just pick some of this and try eating it, see what it's like. Under here is Brussels sprouts. I'm not actually sure how they've done under here, so let's have a look. I'm guessing not very well. So yeah, that's just been hit by some kind of pest. It's been enjoying feeding on that. I should really have put a polytunnel over this lot. As I say, the garden's basically just got kind of abandoned at the end of September. What else can I show you? My experimental courgette, which did actually survive for quite a few months going into the winter. Eventually, at some point, I think a squirrel or maybe a rat or something had a nibble on it, but they didn't think much of it. Well, that's where my nasturtiums were. I'll definitely grow some more of those. The inevitable wheelie bins, some pallet wood, which I picked up from my friendly neighbour Martin. And I've got loads of wood actually, so what I might do is raise some of these beds a little bit more. make them a bit taller, a bit deeper. Some rubbish over there to go to the tip, knackered IKEA lamp. So yeah, that's about the size of it at the moment. So I think the first job is just have a general tidy up. I think the next few days are going to be dry. It's nice being outside again. So yeah, a general tidy up. And then in the next episode I'll talk a little bit more about exactly what I'm going to grow. Okay, bye for now.